All right, so it's a pretty historic day here in Raiders history as former Raiders coach Tom Flores and quarterback actually, and former defensive player Charles Woodson have been inducted into the Hall of Fame. And I just think this is awesome considering the fact that these two guys are legends and it took long enough for Flores to get in the Hall of Fame. And now him and Charles Woodson are finally in it. So I'm going to talk a little bit about these guys and why they're significant. So Tom Flores, like I said, he was the quarterback for the Raiders in the 1960s, the original Oakland Raider days when they still wore gold and black. They look like the Pittsburgh Steelers. They wore gold and black, before this silver and black look they have today. I think it's awesome that he was a player and a coach. And as a coach, he was a legend. Obviously, we know John Madden, right? But John Madden gets talked a lot more about his coaching with the Raiders because he won that Super Bowl in 1976, where that team is considered like they were considered the best NFL team ever. And so I'm gonna use that terminology because they were voted that. That's why Madden gets talked a lot more. But honestly, Flores' resume is a little bit better because he won 2 Super Bowls with the Raiders and he won them in 2 different cities, which I think is pretty cool. He won Super Bowl 15 with the Oakland Raiders and then Super Bowl 18 with the LA Raiders, and both those were just like crazy Super Bowls that weren't even close, right? Respect to this guy. I mean, like without him, who knows how many Super Bowls the Raiders would have, because those teams were back then, those teams were heavily relied on their coaching, and those were awesome. I kind of wish I was alive to see him, but I wasn't. And I'm kind of have to live through this painful era of not seeing the Raiders make the playoffs, but you got to respect the past, right? So that's Tom Flores for you. Now, Charles Woodson, I can live to tell the tale, right? Because he did play, but not in my lifetime. Charles Woodson was an interesting story because he was drafted by the Raiders, right? I believe he was the Heisman winner. He played defensive back. He was pretty loose. He could play at multiple positions. He was drafted by the Raiders. He went to Michigan, right? So he was Heisman. And he won the Heisman Trophy, so the Raiders obviously wanted to get him, right? And then he left the Raiders, actually. Looking at it now, I'm kind of glad he left the Raiders, and here's why. The Raiders didn't win anything, right? And with the Packers, the team he went to, he won a Super Bowl, and I think he was completely deserving of that Super Bowl. He got injured that Super Bowl, too, which kind of sucks. But, I think I'm kind of happy he left just because he deserved a ring, right? The Raiders didn't win a ring with him. They haven't won a ring in a super long time. Now he retired in 2015, and he was awesome. He's a 9-time Pro Bowler, like I said, a 1-time Super Bowl champ, a 4-time All Pro Bowler, a Hall of Famer now. So many achievements for this guy and accolades. One notable thing would be the tuck rule. Actually, he was the guy that made the tackle on Tom Brady. And I'm thinking of making a video about the tuck rule, just how significant that one play in history was. He made the tackle on Tom Brady. So, him and Tom Brady kind of have this weird association. And they also both went to Michigan, which is kind of interesting too. Anyways, he did play in a Super Bowl for the Raiders. I guess it kind of confuses people because Charles Woodson and Rod Woodson both played in the same Super Bowl on the same team. But Charles Woodson did play in the Super Bowl against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are coincidentally playing in the Super Bowl tomorrow. So that is pretty interesting. The Raiders obviously lost pretty badly in that Super Bowl, but I guess it's cool to say that at least he played in a Super Bowl with the Raiders. So 2 Super Bowl appearances for Charles Woodson. And, you rehear this guy, he's just, everyone has respect for him. He's just such a legend in the Raiders. He kind of he represents the Oakland Raiders because he played as an Oakland Raider and he was just so good. I watched him in his later years, obviously, because he was drafted in 1998. He played a very long career. But respect to both these guys. Tom Flores, one of the greatest coaches. I'd say, not many people know about him, I feel like, but in terms of outside of the Raider Nation, but I feel like he is one of the best coaches in NFL history just because what he did to this team, and they really turned it around. As the Raiders, if you've seen the documentary, there's a lot of documentaries about the Raiders of those times. They were a hard organization to deal with, to say the least, just because of their ownership and stuff like that. But Tom Flores was great. I guess one more notable thing to say about Charles Woodson, he has 65 career interceptions, 11 touchdowns, being defensive touchdowns, right? And he played in 254 games. So good careers for both these guys. Let me know your thoughts, and thank you so much for watching.